Hello, everybody. This is Joshua Hatton with One Nation Under Whisky. I am joined today with the dear Nation. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. This is Joshua. Fucking hell. I'm so sorry.
I want you to leave all of these in.
Yeah, this isn't good. Hello, everybody. This is Joshua. Why am I having...
Take a breath. Take a breath. It's all good.
I almost said Joshua, Neil, Patrick, Harris, Johnston, Yellen.
Just take a breath, engage brain. You got this. Yeah. And then let's get some whiskey in our mouths.
Hello, everybody. This is Joshua Hatton with One Nation Under Whisky. I am joined today, and I am joined, as always, by the dear Jason, Neil, Patrick, Harris, Johnston, Yellen. And we are also joined with Jessica, Rabbit, Guillermo, Lomas. And we are gathered today for our 9th annual year in review. Right? This is our 9th season. This is our annual year in review. I think I'm doing our math right.
So far, the numbers are good.
Listeners can send a postcard to info@singlecastnation.com if their arithmetic comes out separate from Joshua's. Who knows? Who knows?
Or if maybe the listeners get the same level of fear that I do when Joshua starts into the "we're gathered here today," I'm automatically like, "Are we getting married? Have I woken up in a strange universe where at the end of this we're married to all the podcast listeners?"
Yeah, this is a matriarchal Mormon wedding. You know, this is what we do.
That's an intro that makes my brain trip a bit.
I just hear "Dearly Beloved" in the voice of Prince.
Dearly beloved.
That's exactly what I hear.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's what we all hear right now, Jason.
Hopefully you inserted it, which is why everybody's hearing it.
Hopefully everybody felt that I've inserted it just now.
Careful now.
Heard.
A little Prince.
Yeah, heard.
Does you good.
But yeah, I'm excited. This is our year in review. I'm excited for a number of reasons. A, we get to talk about our favorite whiskeys, our favorite show, like our whiskey show that we've been to and why. You know, there's always good stories around that. And our favorite conversations, you know, it's you know, part of, you know, the reason I love whiskey is the conversations that come along with it, you know. And so this is always a highlight for me. And then the other thing is, it's December, which means we're getting ever closer to the end of the year and a little bit of downtime, which is much needed. I know the three of us can vouch for that. Am I right? Can I get an amen?
Amen.
Mm-hmm.
Amen.
That's the best you're getting out of me.
Jess, can we get a hallelujah?
No, you absolutely cannot. At least not until we're 3 or 4 drams in, and then I'll consider
Our
it.
level of discomfort is incredible right now. Welcome.
I'm observed. So the listeners of this podcast and the unfortunate viewers are going to work out really quickly how end of year, end of season dosed with the miserable cold and cough combination I have come back from Kendall with. So that was what I was trying to preserve my voice instead of giving you an enthusiastic amen, because my voice is already 3 octaves lower than it is normally. So yeah,
it is this December voice for sure.
yeah, it is.
Yeah. Speaking of December, before we start this, should we enter our Swiss chalet to do this proper? I think
Indeed.
we should.
Go for it.
There we go. All right.
I'm preserving my voice.
Okay, for the viewers, you can now see that we've entered our Swiss chalet, and for the listeners, you will have heard that we have entered our Swiss chalet.
So the thing that I've got a hang up about entering, and the viewers will be seeing this for themselves, but we're clearly outside the chalet looking at it.
Not if you use your imagination, Jason.
With imagination, I can be anything I want. A pirate. Arr. A football player. Hop.
A starfish.
Patrick, you're already a starfish.
See, Squidward, it works.
We're clearly not in it. We're clearly moving towards it. Imagination. Or not.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, my imagination today in Virginia is snow falling and snow on the ground. So this is a winter wonderland in rural Virginia at this present moment.
Ooh. You had a whiskey in your glass.
I know, I want a whiskey in my mouth.
Okay.
Viewers will finally see the extent we go to keep bottles hidden from one another as we pour and as we make slow reveals.
So, Jason, how do you want to do this? In what order? Because we've got 4 points of order that we want to do this in. Do you want to go?
Well, I
whiskeys?
desperately need whiskey in my mouth. So I want to do a single Cask Nation grand reveal, because this is kind of a follow-on to what we established at the end of October, which was, here was the buying guide. You know, here's what we recommend, here's what we've enjoyed along the way, here's what you should look out for. Now, as we sit at the end of our year, we have an opportunity to very simply say which single Cask Nation offering of 2025 rules them all. Which is the one ring of single Cask Nation releases? And I have that bottle sitting next to me.
Yep. There you go.
So have you, Joshua, gone ahead and poured your single Cask Nation?
I have indeed. And
Yes. Are you in the processes of pouring your
I am in the
single
process
Cask
of pouring
Nation?
it really fast.
One ring to rule them all?
And
Now,
I
the
hope,
bad news is
Yeah.
that when I parked my reindeer sleigh outside the chalet, but just out of shot of what we can currently see for the viewers, I left my bottle of SCN outside, and it is too much snow and too much rain in Glasgow currently for me to leave the house. So luckily I have found my sample bottle.
Hey! look at that.
Luckily the liquid works.
Good.
The liquid slaps, as the youngsters say.
No, well, I mean, obviously,
Bad.
as a responsible group of adults, we don't give alcohol to youngsters. So I don't know what they would say.
Trust me, Jess, as a 51-year-old gentleman, the youngsters are now 35 years old. So you are the youngster to whom I refer.
Delighted. Okay, well, I don't know if I would say it slaps, but I'll take it.
I do. Yeah, I'm not going to go down that path. Yeah. When I say youngsters, I'm not thinking of 21-year-olds. That's insane. They're
people.
simply children.
Yeah, fair enough.
All right. Well, Joshua has shown something very light in colour to the camera for the listeners. Jess is putting her porcelain skin behind her pour and showing us something I would say looks almost amber-like. Is that aligning with your experience?
No, I think it's more golden than that.
Golden?
It's more
Okay.
golden flaxseed.
Flaxseed. I like that.
Sadly, I couldn't think of a whiskey fast enough. Jesus, I haven't drunk yet, I promise.
That's why we're racing to the first pour.
My
And
favourite
then
of Jason's
here
colours
is my
is-
colour.
Ooh, it's dark.
You should visit your nearest doctor at your convenience. That's
Yeah. That
And look
looks
at
like,
that pour. That's how
Is it-
badly I want
would
whiskey
you
in
call
my
that
mouth.
burnt sienna? Or is that a bit darker?
I think that would be fair. Yeah. I think a rich amber in the parlance of all.
my favourite of
time.
Jason's Pantone colours is burnished copper,
Thank you.
which that whiskey is not.
Thank you. Unfortunately, this one is not burnished copper. This is much more of a dark amber. But this is interesting. Then it looks like we have 3 different whiskies.
It does.
In our
It does,
glasses. Let's see if
like
the
that.
camera is telling Porky Pies.
Yeah.
So
all right.
who gets to lead the game first?
Ladies first.
Jessica. Rabbit.
Well-
Guillermo Lomas.
Obviously, everybody's been paying close attention to what I have been putting out into our global markets. And so there's probably, Now, this is very difficult for me because to avoid a Joshua Hatton incomplete list, when I went right back to the beginning of the year and thought things would release, there were a couple of things in there that when we put them out, I was already thinking, this, I'm pretty confident, cannot be topped for the rest of the year. And then I remembered that Jason and I had spent some hours arranging releases and that I'd saved a little wee Christmassy treat for myself at the end of the year. So, as I am not doing any incomplete lists, would you just like to know what's in my glass?
No,
Or would you like an incomplete list?
No. I would like to know flavors.
Yeah. We want to, we need a little whiskey foreplay here.
Of this guy just here?
Yeah.
Problem is that this guy right here that I'm nosing ticks off some flavours that for me and for anybody who pays attention to things that I say about whiskey, which, let's be honest, you shouldn't be doing. One of the reasons I picked this is because it ticks the things that I like most about this distillery, but also this flavour.
Oh, I liked about that flavor. So it's a flavor that you find in other whiskeys.
From this distillery, yes.
Specifically from that distillery.
To me, this is a very characteristic of liquid from this famous distillery.
Okay. I wouldn't be afraid of burying the lead here. I think this is a valuable opportunity to learn about you, Jess. And
So if I said that I felt like this is full of smoky blackberries, or black currants even.
Ooh. I know what it is.
Yeah.
I think I could obviously get this very, very wrong. And to appease Joshua, I have not reached for any lists. I'm showing you my hands. My hands are list free.
This guy and his laminated list of answers that we know he's actually just pinned on the wall next to his
off
laptop.
camera. Just like,
Yeah.
So as I look through my double doors,
This guy's stretching into the distance.
I have nothing to hand.
Smoky blackberries.
Okay,
Well,
so
smoky
without
black
leading-
currants
Black currants.
should definitely...
Black currants, yeah, okay.
Okay. So, and without leading the witnesses too far, so you're saying this was bottled for releasing at this time of year. So this is seasonally appropriate.
I'm a strong advocate. I'm a strong advocate for you can drink whiskies of this type all year round. But I wanted this as a Christmas present to myself.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. So smoky blackberries. No, smoky blackcurrants.
Is it something that you get as a cask-driven note with this distillery or a spirit-driven note with this distillery?
I think the blackcurrant thing definitely comes from the spirit, which can be enhanced with other fruity compadres if it's in a very sherried cask.
As this one is.
This one might have been near some sherry
Okay. Is it
for approximately 4 years.
Are we talking Isla smoke?
I think we might be doing, yes. This is really funny because I cannot wait to make Joshua go next.
Would I be correct in thinking that Legolas might be using a bow to shoot arrows with, more arrows with?
He could be, but as we famously know, I've never seen any film ever, and I certainly, as a teenager, didn't have any time to waste on Lord of the Rings.
Can you believe Fellowship
That
of the
you work
Rings
with me?
is going to be
No.
25 years old next year? 25.
I believe she just
the
said she
movie.
didn't have the time to waste on Lord of the Rings, and we just moved past that.
Because I didn't want to hear that shit. That's just nonsense. That's absolute nonsense.
That's hate speech.
It is hate
You wanna-
speech,
if you want
especially
to-
you led with one whiskey to rule them all.
I know. If you want to get Tolkien, then you have to go to my brother, who taught himself Elvish and watches all of the extended cuts.
It sounds like you're
Other movies.
Tolkien bullshit with this nonsense.
I can't do anything about it. I don't have the patience for it. I did when I was younger and before I was allowed to be in pubs all of the time. I got paid to be in an orchestra. We played a lot of the music, so I'm very fond of the music from the movies.
Get that.
I don't know. It just doesn't.
All right. Well, I don't know why we're belaboring.
Before I ruin Christmas for everybody, quick, let's get back to the whiskey, which is absolutely a winner regardless of my Tolkien sentiments.
Very sad.
Okay. So
Jason's like, this is the last time we let Jess in the chalet.
Okay, and then is this distillate from this century?
Yes.
As soon as you mention Bowmore, my mind goes to the 1960s.
Did I mention Bowmore? I think Joshua was talking about bows. All right, okay. Well,
and if you shot more arrows.
Okay, fine. It is from this century, contrary to my previous bragging appearances on this podcast.
So this is the Bowmore. Is this so? In the US, we put out the Bowmore 21-year-old in the PX sherry. That is quite remarkable. Available as our online exclusives at singlecastnation.com. You, for global markets, Jess, have a how old-year-old?
I also have a 21-year-old.
Yay!
I would like the record to state that I beat you guys to the punch, and this was out in the UK and other associated global markets before your online one.
Okay.
FYI.
Okay,
It was creeping into the markets, so I think it'd be a photo finish. For this side of the pond, can we call it mine? I'm calling it mine. My Bowmore, which I cannot tell you what a thrill that gives me to be able to say those words out loud, is also a 21-year-old, but it has done 4 years in second fill Spanish Oloroso Hogshead.
That's right, the Oloroso.
So it's got like a little kiss of sherry, but it's not a sherry bomb.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And I love it. And this was very much my Christmas present to myself when you and I, at the start of the year, drew up what stuff goes where and when. Now, I don't want to give anyone too big a little peep behind the curtain, but actually it turns out, dear podcast listeners and viewers, we sort of do have a plan that's not just the one that Jason's pretending he's not looking at on his desk.
I wish you could see my pile right now. It's got my eyeglass case is on top of my my notes, my book of notes, which is on top of the sheet that, as regular listeners know, there's nothing I like more than printing out a spreadsheet. So this is a printed spreadsheet just off camera.
He's actually got one painted onto the roof of his office. If he looks up, if you're watching this and you see Jason look up, it's actually projected up onto the ceiling.
Oh yes, that more, yes.
He's like flicking through. It's on page 3.
That means something very different to our UK listeners.
It's 21. It's too old to be a page 3 girl. So that was my pick, but it was very difficult. When I had to think about, because I worried this was too obvious a pick. But
I think that's spot on. I think that makes.
I've been really
great
excited about
sense.
this for the entire year.
Yeah.
So
is that sold out from our warehouse? Has that been fully
pretty
allocated?
much, yeah. There's the last few little bits trickling away, hopefully to the good boys and girls before Santa comes.
There you go.
But yeah, it's pretty much all gone, and it's off to the four corners of my global world of different places. So yeah, it should be hitting various excited markets. I've got a couple of little bits. We were pouring it this weekend, which we can talk more about when we've got a bit further through the podcast. Mainly, I want to stop talking so I can have a drink of this.
Okay, you drab. Joshua, we will guess from you next, because we've got this lighter coloured liquid.
I also wish I could pour this through the microphone to the listeners, so you could also smell the lovely smoky blackcurrants.
I will say, Jess, I'm excited. In February, I'm going to be in Quebec City and in Ottawa. And if the logistics gods treat us correctly, we should have that Bowmore plus the other whiskeys that are in that release in country and market. And I'll be at Whiskey Wonderland Festival in Ottawa, pouring that.
Wouldn't this be absolutely a hilarious plug for the whole of Canada to rush out and immediately buy it so there is none left by the time you arrive in February?
Do people need plugs to buy Bowmore 21-year-old single
No one
casks?
needs, yeah,
Like, I
no one
feel
needs a
like,
plug to buy that.
You know, of all the things that sell themselves, I think Bowmore 21-year-old is up there.
Yeah, well, to everybody who I was complaining about this liquid at the weekend, when we tipped the cask and the Angels had also clearly been as excited about this liquid as I has, because there was an upsetting shortage of whiskey. And that really...
It went in the wrong
That really
direction.
destroyed my idea of running a tasting for just myself using one case of this as tasting stock. Gone. I have to go to the shop like regular people. Maybe I'll have to go to Canada like Joshua to buy it. So there you go, listeners. You know what to do if you're in the many provinces of Canada. Get to it.
The frozen north, Bowmore 21
frozen
coming your
north.
way, as well as other global markets. All right, Joshua's One Ring to Rule Them All Single Cast Nation Edition.
So
Lighter color.
Yeah, it's pale, but it's not that pale.
Yeah.
This
What color
one,
did you offer up for it?
I'm sorry.
What color did you offer up for it?
I would call this. I don't know. I guess I would call this sort of warm hay.
Warm hay.
Yeah.
Does hay change
Give me
colors when it's
strength,
cold?
listeners. Yeah.
Just work with me here.
Hold on. Imagination.
Exactly. So how about this? Sepia tone hay.
Okay, give me some nose notes.
I don't know if you can hear this, but future me in the car is rolling my eyes so hard at the idea of warm hay being a colour. Hi, future me.
Sepia toned hay.
Sepia tone. Yeah, she's already crashed the car.
of
She's
some
left.
hay
Turn the podcast off.
in sepia. All right,
So-
here it goes. Here comes the nose.
All right. It's incredibly fruity. It's really fruity off the bat.
Okay.
It's
Okay. Incredibly.
if you were to get it, it's almost like fresh berries on oatmeal, like warm milk and oatmeal with fresh berries on it, a little bit of brown sugar.
What colors are these berries?
Light pink. We're definitely not in we're not in the blueberry, blackberry,
Gooseberry.
dark red, gooseberries. Nothing tart. It's soft sweetness.
Okay.
Nothing yellow either. Right?
Is the grain present with all of these berry notes?
Right, and that's your oatmeal, right? That's your cereal forward. But you got that warm milk. There's like a warmth to it. Like you can just by nosing it, you feel like you're getting warm. Hence the warm hay color. Yeah.
I've got a general question.
Okay,
that
general.
Perhaps later might be followed with a more specific question. But is this a Diageo distillery?
It is a Diageo distillery. But
I will
that's
rest
a bit of
for
a
the moment.
softball.
I will
it's
give the floor to Jessica Rabbit.
I love that I've got an extra rabbit. That's exciting. Is that not Chaz and Dave with Rabbit? See, only impressed. I can give you a Chaz and Dave reference, but I can't tell you about Lord of the Rings. I'm just that kind of paradox.
Josh and I have talked about the Chaz and Dave song on a previous episode. It's highly controversial in this day and age.
That is true. I was just, anyway, right. We'll just we'll unnotify HR of that. Okay, so it's Diageo, and I'm assuming that this comes from a US-based release of the.
This does come from a US-based release, and if I'm being very honest, this was neck and neck with another US release.
From also a Diageo distillery?
Nope.
No, I think it might be closer to My Dram Distillery, maybe.
I had to rule out a world one just because I didn't have the full bottle of that to do the side by sides.
Okay. Okay, so if we're talking Diageo, I think The safest place to put my bet would be a Space ID based
Speyside?
distillery. Okay.
Does this have an unusual cask involved?
It does have an unusual cask, yeah.
Would it be the type of cask we would normally avoid very quickly?
Upon first blush, but when you hear the full explanation of the cask, you say, okay, that's a different treatment of the cask.
Upon first blush. This guy's only on his first dram, and we're already into Shakespeare territory. First blush. Okay, well then I feel like
Such a warmth to it.
I really wish I had Jason's sheet printed out next to me here.
I haven't even looked at my ceiling. That's
Could you tilt your camera out so I can look at your ceiling? How about... Well, if it's a cask type that we would normally run away from, I personally would run hard and fast away from anything wine-based.
Correct.
well done, Jess. That was very well done.
No.
However, and I've been telling this story as part of pouring some other versions of this. Is this charred red wine?
Yeah, it's a recharred red wine cask.
Right. So there's this talk about caramelizing the wine sugars being very different than having a simply X red wine cask, where I don't think any of the three of us have a lot of success there. Not to say success doesn't exist there, but we don't find a lot of success there. But charred red wine really changed the tone of that discussion
Completely.
in 2025.
Yeah, all of the dirty sock notes that you tend to get with red wine casks, or the pink whiskey that you sometimes get with a red wine cask. None of it's here. It has nothing to do with a wine cask at all. So if you read that on the label, you say, oof, gosh, that's kind of scary. But no, a recharred red wine cask, it's not what you think it is. And that's why, you know, we were surprised when we tasted this. We said, okay, this is actually doing far different things than we ever expected. And then we ended up bottling a few different casks that had this, a few different whiskeys that had this cask type.
Yeah. So originally I thought you were maybe going to go down the Teaninic path for the version of this that you liked so much.
Yeah.
But your Speyside region has changed things. Do you want me to take a guess? Do you have further questions, Jess?
No, I am trying to think hard what I have seen leaving our warehouse. That is recharred red wine, Speyside, Diageo. Have I ticked everything so far? Does that sound about right?
Yep. I think I'm actually going to get... I think I might be incorrect on this one, but it's definitely one of the ones in the running, so...
Yeah, go for it. You can guess.
Is this Mannockmore?
Spot on, Jason.
Oh, that's it.
Gosh, this is such a magical whiskey. It's perfect. It is so perfect from top to bottom, from belt to braces.
Hey,
as
well said.
someone once said.
Hopefully people are up to date with their December 10 episode.
Yeah, it is just...
Yeah, you've loved that all year long.
It's so perfectly balanced, and we got that lovely surprise with the delicate peat that we didn't know Mannockmore had done a peated run, you know, during a part of the year. That was news to us, so you know, it was a really welcome surprise when we tasted that, and it added a facet to the whiskey that was unexpected. The runner-up was our Glencadam 13-year-old. And the only reason why that one didn't win out was I selected that one because that one was my most surprising whiskey of the year. and not necessarily what I thought was the best of the year. Like I visit that one early and often, and I shout from the rooftops about it early and often. But I think this one is just like, it is just everything that I look for, because it ticks all of the boxes and it's so perfectly balanced.
Oh, and I think a late contender for the surprising whiskey, and I'm not giving away any secrets that this is not in my glass, but pouring the Auchentoshan 13-year-old.
Yeah, right.
And people finding the smoke on that
Spot on.
is blowing people away right now.
Yeah.
And that's still sitting on the website. But gosh, pouring that for folk has a double take. But I won't continue to talk about whiskies that are not in any of our glasses. I will draw your attention to this lovely expression that has this deep amber colour to it and is sitting in my glass. The fun of this game for me is always when each of us is describing our individual whiskies, I still bring my own glass to my nose and I still smell it. So when you're talking about smoky blackcurrants, I'm still bringing my nose to my glass. There's no smoky blackcurrants in here. But I can't help myself. It's being at
You're hoping
tastings
to
for
find
years.
some other smoky blackcurrant influence that was previously not there before.
I guarantee you, as I'm describing what's in here, you're going to be looking for it in your smoky blackcurrants.
So give us some notes. Give us some clues, a breadcrumb, if you will.
The nose has warmth. It has depth. It has comfort.
Okay.
It has
None of these are tasting notes, but go on.
imagination.
Warm hay.
Imagine me smelling Incipia.
You sons of bitches. All right.
So yeah, definitely like dried fruit notes in here.
Okay.
You know, unlike the smoky black currants, I would maybe talk about raisins in here. That kind of raisiny depth, that raisiny heft.
Okay.
Lovely, lovely rich malt. Maybe a little bit of dark chocolate. I might be leading my own witness on this one.
Okay, so it sounds like these are all very sherry-forward notes.
Well, I think once you see the colour of it and you get to hear the notes that I'm leading with, I think a story is being told here.
Yeah. But there's no smoke to be found anywhere near it. No, okay.
I took a cheeky wee glance at the flavometer just to make sure that I'm not disagreeing with earlier versions of ourselves. And we're not disagreeing with any earlier versions of ourselves.
Okay.
Oh, gosh. The palate has this lovely sweetness, but it's like a complex sweetness. It's got... Sweetness has a heft as well.
Heavy sweetness.
The texture, this isn't helping in the slightest, but the texture is everything we look for in a whiskey. Like, it's just rich and viscous and mouth coating, and every sip I take just as another layer on top, then the flavours are building. Nicely peppery as well.
What about every move you make?
Every breath you take,
Yeah, what?
I'll be watching this whiskey.
You'll be watching that in the other. Good. Would you call this like is this like a if someone were to put this in their glass and sip this, would they say this is like a quintessential Highland whiskey? Maybe.
It is definitely in the Highland region.
Okay.
But not quintessential.
Not quintessential. Oh, okay. Okay, but it is Highland. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. We're whittling. We're whittling, right? We're out of Speyside. Oh, or are we? Are you? You're not considering Speyside, because Speyside is technically a subsection of Highlands, right? But you're not considering Speyside, in this case, a subsection. Okay. Good. So we're on the Highlands, and it is dark. And okay, my next question, Jess, do you have some questions here? I've been monopolizing the questions here.
No, I'm enjoying it. I was trying to work out how high in the Highlands we're going.
I would
Are we
say,
going like all the way to
Or
the
how
top
low
Highlands?
in the Highlands are we going?
and I think that's more to the fore. How low are we going in the Highlands?
Yeah. And do we have to tread water to get to these Highlands?
That's the part I was trying not to give away. It's a part of the Highlands entirely surrounded by water.
It sounds like, is it a place that you would lovingly look out over across the water? As a wee Johnston?
So before we get to the full reveal, because we're on the cusp. Before we get to the full reveal, and I really want to say this to the listeners and the viewers, hello. I really want to say this one ring single cast nation to rule them all is doing nothing for business. It is not on our website. It is likely not on a shelf near you, but it is the whiskey that I have not been able to get out of. It's the single cast nation whiskey that I have not been able to get out of my head in 2025. And when I mentioned this in the past October episode when we did the buyer's guide, David Feldner sent me a link for a store in Germany that had this, and I bought their one and only bottle. And so I have a Prineus sticker. Is that coming out on
No
the camera?
way.
I have a Prineus sticker on the back of the bottle that I bought out of Germany, and I have to apologise. I meant to look up the store. It's an online whiskey agency.
Yeah, there's
Whiskey.
the whiskey agency.
So I purchased this from the whiskey agency in Germany. And again, for the listener, for the viewers, you said this for your Bowmore 21, Jess. I spent my own money on this single cast nation bottle so I could have it. That's how much I love it. And again, we poured this at the Independent Bottlers Festival in March. And the three of us, when we tasted this, said, that's award worthy. And it has held up to every single other thing we have bottled the rest of 2025. So, could I have done a pick that was better for business? Yes. Did I stand by my guns and get the one that was the one ring to rule them all? Yes. So, there you go. This is our 9-year-old Lacranza, all 9 years in a first fill sherry hogshead. And it remains cracking. Absolutely.
Let me tell you, I thought
cracking.
really long and hard about putting that as my
That's
pick.
why I was checking colour when we started this. You and I having different colours surprised me when we started this. I thought for sure this would be your one ring to rule them all as well.
Well, it's a very, very close. It's a phenomenal
Right.
Lacranza, and I absolutely adore it. And I loved pouring it in Germany when I was over there earlier in the year on our road trip around a few different places and stores. It's a fantastic whiskey. And what's really annoying, though, is having picked it, it's created a really high bar for all future Lacranzas that go into our global markets. And I worry it's made a bar that's going to be untouchable for maybe a little while. It's such a good whiskey.
And you mentioned earlier about the Bowmore, once it actually came out of cask, was way fewer bottles than anticipated. This is showing 316 bottles. So a good number of bottles, but they all moved really fast.
Yeah,
Yeah, a
and
good number
off
of bottles which
every
vanished
website.
instantly. Yeah.
Like out of every store shelf, off of every website, like it's unobtainium.
Right,
at
and I
this
think
point.
this will be one for Jess. As Jess goes around global markets or goes back to Germany, if you see this on shelves, buy it. And whether that's for you or it's for Joshua or it's for me or it's for Nation members who write begging emails, like buy it when you see it, Jess. I don't think you're going to be seeing it very much, but what
I'm
an
amazed you found it
absolute
anyway.
doozy.
I didn't even know you had done that.
Yep. I had to keep it secret because this was going to be my one ring to rule them all. And so, yeah, David Feldner, thank you so much for the link. I added a couple of bottles to my order to, help with shipping costs. But yeah, and honestly, Joshua, I tried to put 2 in my cart so that I could surprise you with one, and it only allowed 1 in the cart. Otherwise, I would have brought 2 over to America.
I appreciate that.
I literally bought the last bottle at the whiskey agency.
Oh,
All right.
Okay, well,
That
I'll
was
have
fun.
a little sneaky look next time I
It's
am
a lot of fun.
in
Please,
the country.
please, Jess, we will support any purchasing that you
Any.
make. So
Expensing that right back to
I'm gonna
ourselves.
pass you. All right, we have a little bit of whiskey to sip on. I'm happy to pour another round of that La Franza if
Well,
we want to
let's-
go in a different direction.
Yeah,
Which conversation do we want to have next?
let's talk about our favorite whiskey fair, whiskey event.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
Jessua, gosh, time to pour another
Maybe
one.
you don't get a second one.
Jess led on the first one, so why don't you lead on the second one, Joshua?
Yeah.
So this one's a bit of a toss-up. They're all
You
a
say
toss-up,
toss-up?
right?
Careful now. Careful now.
It's a bit of a tosser.
Actually, speaking of, I didn't give a backup to my La Franza.
yeah.
Balcones. Balcones was 100% in the running for my one ring to rule them all. I have surprised people continually with that pour. I love pouring it. Number one comment I get from people is, that's like peated scotch. Like, how is that Balcones out of Texas? And for the sake of the business, that is on the website. You can still purchase that. Please go forth and support that Balcones. I have it just off camera as well, in case I make a move to pour that later.
Beauty.
So that was my very close runner-up. Thank you for that. 30 seconds, Joshua.
Did you have a runner-up, Jess? I can't remember. Did
Yeah.
you say what your runner-up?
Honestly, my runner-up would have been that La
La
Cranza.
Franza.
It would okay, the La Cranza. Okay. So I had 2 events that I thought were really top tier, and I'm going to mention the very top one, just to get it out of the way, and that was earlier this March. It was the Independent Spirits event. It just could not be beat. It simply couldn't be beat. For those viewers and listeners who don't know what I'm talking about, firstly, go back earlier this year. We had a few episodes where we interviewed some attendees. We interviewed some of the other independent bottlers who were at the event. But it was such a wonderful event that was put on by David Stirk. It was put on in conjunction with the guys who did Independent Spirits. It was a mini series, but if you go onto Amazon, it's now put together as a single movie.
Yeah.
But it's all
Maybe
about
just stick to documentary. I think covers whether it's a series, a movie.
yeah, documentary. There you go, documentary. But it was the entire show. Every table was independent bottlers, and every person there was there to taste whiskey from independent bottlers and knew what an independent bottler was. You didn't have to have that conversation of explaining what we are and what we do. Like for the past 14 plus years, going on 15 years, we have had that conversation of who we are, what we do, and why we do it. And we, for the first time, all we had to do is say, try this whiskey from this distillery that you have actually heard of because you've had it from us, or you've had it from Cadnez, or you've had it from Single Malts of Scotland, or, so on and so forth. And we got to meet a lot of people who were listeners of the podcast. A number of people from the U.S. came out, right? Mm-hmm. Michael and Bonnie Nolan came out. Charles Grubitsky from First Fill Spirits. I remember seeing him in the crowd. Total, incomplete Joshua Hatton list here because there's a ton of them.
Elhan,
yep, thank you. And his wife, yep. So on and so forth. Just so many lovely people who we got to meet, and I just thought it was special. I just thought it was really special, and I'm looking forward to 2026 and being at that event, and I think it can only get better. So
yeah, it felt celebratory.
Yeah.
And I think very much to your point, Joshua, when people are walking around the room knowing what an independent bottler is, but it really fed into why we do what we do and who we are and why pick a single cask from a distillery. And we talked about it early in the year, but the Westland single cask that Jess had for her global markets just hit a home run. It was phenomenal seeing the success of that single cask amongst, the Locranza being poured there and the Tullamore. And, it was so wonderful. I also picked that as my number one of the year because the three of us had a chance to be together. And Chris Sweetscott was in the room, and happy belated birthday to Sweetscott, same December 6th as Joshua Hatton, as discussed in a prior episode. And he was in the room, and getting to see the enthusiasm for Single Cask Nation around Jess and around Chris and the work that they put in Scotland was really cool. And to celebrate the documentary and being featured, all three of us being featured in that, and Single Cask Nation being featured, that whole weekend just felt incredibly special. And for me, it's not to downplay Fog City Social, which I love in San Francisco. It's not to downplay Premier Drams at Jack Rose, where Jess got to come over and had a bit of a holiday, but also a busman's holiday, because she poured with me at Premier Drams. It's not to downplay any of that. Independent Spirits just was so celebratory. And like you, I cannot wait to get back there. March 21, 2026, come out and see the three of us, see Chris Sweetscott over there as well. We will be having a blast. I might even get drunk on the floor. Who knows?
Ooh, just like last year.
Yeah. I just need to know, is this our official announcement to Chris that he has to work? Because usually we're not very good at telling him he has to.
On the back of him working Kendall on his birthday, this is the announcement that he needs to work.
Okay, he's on loads of heads up now. Okay, good.
Dr. Matt Bishop, we're coming for you again. Yeah,
he'll be there.
Rick Johnson, didn't he go to the Independent Spirits event as well?
He was there as well.
With his good lady. They were travelling as well.
I actually don't think there was anybody left in America that weekend. Because you guys were over, all the whiskey people were over. I think America was just a very empty, a bunch of, just your wives really kicking around the country being like, wow, it's so quiet.
Yeah, they were happy for the peace. Yeah, there you go. Independent Spirits takes it for two of us. Jess, you've got your own experience. What did your years look like?
I was gonna also vote for them, but I had a sneaky suspicion that you two were gonna nominate them, so I thought I would highlight some other events that I'd been at instead. I would also like to point out that whilst I think it is for you two, it's not the first festival that I have ever worked at where I've just been an independent bottler, and the room is full of independent bottlers. There is another event run by Carl Glenn and the mighty Northeast Whiskey Appreciation Gang, who run one that's called Whiskey Love Festival, and that's down in they do two. There's one that's in just outside Newcastle and one in Durham, but the same. So Different
And
mixture of
he's in the
people, but
Independent Spirits documentary as well, is he not?
yeah, I think Carl does turn up. I've had friends from all over the place watch the documentary, not through me soliciting it to them, and had people message saying, "Wow, I didn't know you were in this." And then, who are those crazy people you work with? That's a little spoiler for anybody that's not watched the visuals of that excellent documentary. So it's really fun how far and wide that spread. I had a friend in Germany literally texting me the other week saying, "Oh, I'm watching this on a long train journey." I was like,
brilliant.
"Oh, I turn up at some point," so that was fun.
Really
yes. So I really did think about making that. Also, I was a bit worried off the back of that festival. We had so much fun. I was worried that we had set the tone again too high for the rest of the year. I was thinking, how are we going to follow this? Because that was March. So, like, really early on. I had just got back, I think, from Japan. And then I did a little bit of road tripping in Germany, pouring that delicious Locranza. So I really feel like maybe this is me getting soft in my old age, but I think the festival I have to vote for is Glasgow Whiskey Festival.
Whoa, look at you.
There you go.
So even though I really enjoyed being at Premier Drams, and that was super fun, meeting a whole bunch of people that I only know off of the internet in person, that was great. And I've just come back from Kendal, which I really loved, but I'm deducting Phil 2 points for stealing my voice. Glasgow is such a hard event to beat in terms of festivals. It's definitely it's not the easiest show to work at. My fellow city dwellers of Glasgow and the people who come visit sure know how to party, which Jason has certainly witnessed. This year we made it through both sessions with enough whiskey, which, let me tell you, this time last year we ran out of whiskey before the end of an hour before each session.
Yep.
So this year I made sure the car was super full and I bought loads of liquid, so we're all good.
Yep.
And it was just loads of fun. I had a little silly competition on Instagram. If you could tell me what my earrings were, I had a special under the table dram for you. It's just amazing. And like the Independent Spirits Festival, it's amazing to me the people who travel from the length of the country. And actually, again, lots of lovely Americans that fly in. And that's always really exciting to meet Americans. I met a bunch of guys from Australia who had come in that knew of Single Cask Nation.
That's awesome.
And knew us, so that was really fun.
Very cool.
And just seeing everybody, it's a crazy big old festival, and it is run incredibly. It's a tight, well-oiled ship, run by Julie and Mark and Thomas. They do such a good job in Hampden. It makes it actually a ton of fun every year. For all of my moaning. But let me tell you, it's the only festival anywhere in the world I have ever attended, and that includes the festival that I'm not allowed to talk about, which in between sessions has masseuses. Not for you, the kind punters of the show, but for the exhibitors. So if you attend Glasgow and you see kind of 10 minutes before the end of the first session, people are starting to sort of weirdly pack up really quickly and shift towards the doors in the middle corridor. And you wonder what's happening. It's all the exhibitors running to get a massage. It's so good.
Is one of those people packing up early Chris Swede Scott Hallstrom to get upstairs?
Never mind him, it's me. It's me, right at the front of the queue, me. I obviously, of course, have to thank Chris and Dor for their relentless standing shoulder to shoulder with me every year. They are fantastic. They are. Physically, literally could not do it without them. We are so busy for the whole show. So thank you to everybody who came to the table, and thank you to everybody who bought things. That's nice. That's a nice bonus, right? And I have to give a special shout out to my official Southside correspondent, Flo, because he brought Tantrum donuts to the stand.
Ooh, yes,
Which,
you've spoken of
tell
these donuts before.
If you want your way to my my donut-shaped heart, that's the way to do it. So he arrived with a box.
Flo, who I
which is
believe has an
very nice.
official Nation caricature.
He does.
Should do, yes.
Yeah.
I submitted a picture of him, so I would hope
Yeah,
so.
so kudos to him. I'm going to leave it up to Flo to go find it if he hasn't
To go
already.
find it.
But
Yeah, we're gonna need one for Dor as well, but I don't know if we have enough
We
ink
should get one for
for
Dor.
his beard.
Oh man, that beard.
That
That's
beard
luscious.
is formidable.
well, we
I'm
have
jealous.
Chris being represented by Billy Idol, so
That's true.
We maybe need an official one for
No,
Chris.
do you know what? That's actually Billy Idol.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Oh, but he's being, yeah, okay, I gotcha.
We don't have an official Chris
We
one.
don't have an official Chris one.
We were discussing this at the weekend about moving everybody around and submitting pictures because there are a few people I have submitted for pictures. We've already mentioned the good Dr. Matt Bishop. I put a picture in for
Indeed.
him too. So
Indeed.
when
We
maybe
need
when
to-
that updates, we should do like an annotated version. Because obviously there's especially in the original version, there's a bunch of lovely Nation friends that I've never met in person, but I know their names. So seeing their caricature, I'm still
It's
incredibly
a growing
jealous
thing.
of Bonnie Nolan's hair. Is possibly the
Oh my
best.
gosh! But Bolly
on that entire
Nolan
thing.
playing the role of Whitney Houston in the
my gosh.
Nation graphic. That hair is
Beautiful.
I
remarkable.
love that. It's fantastic.
I was I was thinking that in preparation for this recording, naming a favorite show is so difficult. It's a bit like what
Yeah.
we're about to do next in naming a favorite episode, right? Naming the favorite show feels like you're downplaying the value of all the other shows and the tastings that we do for 10 people here and 20 people there and 40 people somewhere else. Like, all three of us are busy all the time pouring Single Cast Nation. Can't name them all, can't award everybody, but every time a Nation member shows up and identifies themselves and introduces themselves, it means the absolute world. So power to the
Yeah.
Nation as always. And let's see what shows hold for us in 26. But the three of us will definitely be together with Chris, hopefully, if he signs his contract, in March in Leith. And that'll be excellent. I'm looking forward to that hangover.
Yeah, that's going to be good. Okay, well, I'm glad that we've kind of got a unanimous-ish event.
We did.
Are the
We
dishes
did.
being done?
And we'll be back at it.
I'm possibly being burgled inside the shallow.
Yeah.
Someone's after your casks. in the
Hold on to
Swiss
them, really.
chalet that we were both inside and outside of. Imagination.
Okay, so what's the next point of order?
Let's get something fresh in our glass, and then with something, then we can guess what's in our glasses, and then we can name our favorite episode.
There we go. That's what I was hoping you were going to say, because
Yeah, I need-
I've
yeah.
pre-poured this because I wanted to give it a little bit of air.
Okay.
But so Jess went first. I went first, second. Jason, you get to go first, third.
I'm ready. I'm born for this moment. What do you want to know?
Well, let's take a look at your glass, and we'll describe it for our listeners. Our viewers get to just see. Oh, that's interesting. It's got a brightness to it. I would call that like a bright gold, almost like a shimmering gold.
I just poured the remains of my Locranza over my AirPod case.
That's not how you drink whiskey, Jason.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be better.
Yeah. Okay. It's got more depth to it there. Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to put the full shadow back on itself, but
Yeah. Still,
yeah,
I
it's
would
got
call that.
this kind of lovely. I would say it's either got a bright gold, a bright dark gold.
A bright dark gold.
Yeah, yeah. Jess, imagination.
Okay, so it's a bright dark gold. Okay, in color.
Maybe like polished gold.
Okay.
That's my final answer.
Okay.
Polished gold.
Okay. Okay. Whoa. Did you just do a magic trick, Jason? Wow. Our viewers will have seen a magic trick happen. Jason just put a whiskey into his third hand somehow.
Paging HR.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So he's got a dark golden, dark bright golden color.
Imagine I took a photo of it in sepia.
Okay.
While
And,
sitting on a hay barrel. On a hay... Yeah.
Okay. And so let's get some notes going
Yes.
on here. Yeah.
There's a warmth. There's a comfort.
Does it smell smooth?
I would
Actually-
argue that things can smell smooth.
Okay, so here's my lead note for you.
Okay, go ahead.
And this is gonna be like the dude's rug. This is gonna tie the room together. Savory is my lead
Ooh,
term
okay.
on the nose.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
now you're interested. Now I've got your attention.
Yeah. Hook, line, and sinker.
There you go. That's what I'm here for.
Yeah, savory.
Savory.
Okay.
Now, I also don't want to mislead the witness, so I will say it savory is my note. But there is smoke. There is an influence of peat. Just on the nose. I haven't tasted it for you, but just on the nose,
Yeah.
peat smoke is present.
Okay. Okay, so we got a little bit of peat smoke. We've got a savory quality.
Don't
to
forget
it.
savory.
All right. Are you getting any sweetness, any fruit? Maybe a bit
On
of
the nose,
Yeah.
there's perhaps an apricot quality.
Okay. Oh boy, I wonder if we've selected the same whiskey. Okay.
Oh, I guarantee you we have not. I
Okay,
have not
okay.
mentioned this whiskey to either of you in this calendar year.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Such a strange threat to make.
I wanted to give no clues. None.
It also worries me that you've been sat on the answers to all of these questions for an entire year quietly.
I'm very prepared.
It's just I've my nose. The whiskey that I have in glass has an apricot
Okay.
scent to it, and I'm
But
just
is it
saying
savory?
that there's a bit of savory quality to it. There's a touch of smoke, and so I'm right. So
Honestly, I will be hugely surprised if you and I have picked the same draft.
yeah,
Hugely.
maybe. Okay.
Hugely
Okay.
surprised.
Okay. All right. Okay. You continue.
It'd be amazing, though. It'd be like a David Blaine reveal.
Oh my gosh.
Imagine if all
All right.
three of us had managed it.
All right, so that's the
amazing.
nose. There's also, when I say savory, there's almost like a briny quality on the nose as well.
Boy. Okay. Let's narrow down a little bit. Are we talking malt whiskey? Okay. Are we Scotch whiskey? Okay. Are we single malt? Okay.
For the people who are still treating this podcast as an audio format, what you're missing here is the beauty of Joshua visualizing with his hands as he's asking the questions, sorting them, while Jason is nodding like a fiend. Or for people
With
in
my
the
eyes
UK,
closed.
with his eyes closed, looking very much like the Churchill dog from the insurance adverts of Yield.
So on
Wait
the
for it to go,
palate,
oh yes.
salted dark chocolate is the absolute lead on this. There is also a peppery quality, and then just now I got this lovely jalapeno kind of note, which then took the dark chocolate in almost a Mexican chocolate kind of direction.
So I'm getting chocolate notes.
Oh, this
Okay.
is so good. I have revisited this whiskey multiple times, continually asking the question, is this my non-SCN of the year? And the answer each time has been yes.
All right. So first
Good
off,
oiliness.
this sounds fantastic. Is it cask strength?
I already knew the answer. Yes.
Okay. Is
Dramatic
it
pause.
is it single cask?
No.
Okay.
No, sir.
Okay.
No, ma'am.
With the chocolate notes, what do you think, Jess? What do you think is giving us those chocolate notes?
Well, it could be a strange toasting of the wood, maybe something that's got like a rejuvenated, toasted
Yeah,
thing.
that's what I was thinking. That, or maybe like given the color, maybe like a second fill sherry cask, but it's still giving you like some of those deeper notes. But yeah, maybe your guess might be more spot on.
The salinity type thing, those salty notes that Jason's throwing are making me want to say it's from... Is it from an island that's not necessarily Isla?
It is from an island.
Oh, it is an island. Okay.
That
It
is not Isla.
That is perhaps Isla.
Okay.
You talk about what the listeners aren't seeing. Like both of you, like, oh shit!
It's my Cluso face.
Oh, it's
Cluso
this
face.
nonsense. Okay. I will. Listen. We're all friends here. We're all trying to help each other here. This has PX sherry casks in it. It also has bourbon casks in it. It also has a particular malted barley in it.
Oh,
So it's got a chocolate malt.
has a chocolate malt. So this sounds like it's some funky Ardbeg release. Okay. This is the Ardbeg release that Dr. Bill told me about in 2011 that they were laying down. What is this? What's the name of this? So I don't know about this.
Oh, you know about this.
What's the name of it? Oh yeah, Eureka. Oh, Eureka. This is supposed to be excellent. So it is officially excellent.
It's officially excellent. Officially.
Holy shit.
So listen, and again, I love being honest with the listeners, honest with the viewers. You and I, and Jess has other favourite Isla distilleries, but you and I, Joshua, had after many years, had started to move away from the Ardbeg special releases, the committee releases. Mm-hmm. And it was kind of like, yeah, been there, done that. It feels a bit more marketing than it feels like actual whiskey. We moved away. Very early on, I started hearing rumblings around Eureka. Mm-hmm. And the price point was such, and the availability was such, that, like I do tend to do, I decided to take a punt on it. And I was like, let's see. Huh. And I got it for a very good price, and I immediately loved it. And not only did I immediately love it, I immediately compared it to Roller Coaster.
Those are strong words.
The reason I led with savoury on the nose for me is this has got the olives and the cheese and onion crisps that Roller Coaster had back in the day. Yeah. And all the way through our Ardbeg journey, we've kept saying, it's all right, but it's not Roller Coaster. It's all right, but it's not Roller Coaster. Right. This was my first moment of going, that could be son or daughter of Roller Coaster. Like, that is a damn good dram. I will also confess to viewers and listeners, I have purchased 8 bottles of this because
fucking hell,
I'm not
you
making a
like
Roller Coaster mistake. I will have this for the rest of my known life. Wow. And I will always have an open bottle of it. And I dip into this continually. And I have to say, it had pained me, Jess, not to pour this for you when you were at my house. And Josh, it has pained me to not send you a sample of this to say, this is good. So, Jess, I know you've got ready access to Eureka in your Scottish land over there.
I think I must
Joshua,
have tried
watch
this.
out for the next package that I send you.
I must have tried this, and maybe it just, I don't know, maybe I had it during Isla when we were drinking lots of other things. I know I definitely have had them, but the chocolate malt thing definitely had bypassed me, so maybe I'll just have to go to Isla and drink it. What a terrible shame.
But it's also got an oiliness, right? It beads the glass, it coats the mouth, it layers the tongue. Like everything we look for in a single cask Nation cask, this is doing in Eureka.
Okay.
Final comment for me on this is I think having the committee participate in the selection of this was really smart. And while I really like Ardbeg in bourbon, I think the PX really does a nice little bit of lifting here and really helps land the plane. So
Yeah.
major kudos on Eureka in 2020.
Wow. Well done. Well done. Okay.
And again, we don't like to belabor the point, but it has been said by longtime Ardbeg fans, the price point on this was just a great price point. I think it was around £70 in the UK. It was around $90 to $99 in the US.
Easy
Like
breezy.
it was a price point where I felt comfortable taking a chance on it. And then when I loved it, I was sure to give them repeat business.
All right.
Yep, great whiskey. End of Jason's segment.
Beauty.
I'm going to pour another bit of that. Jess, you're up
Yep.
next.
So I've got a problem. I have two.
Long-time listeners will recall when Jess first started joining this podcast that you always have a problem selecting one for your year.
It's really hard. It's because there's an obvious choice and then there's a interesting choice.
So I'm going to hold your... obviously, we're going to hear both, but I want to hear the one. If you had a desert island and you could only have the one, that's the one I want to hear about. And then I want to hear about the runner-up.
Okay. So my
It's just fun
the
holding
one.
your feet to the fire.
It's difficult. It's difficult. I don't enjoy it.
I like you making difficult decisions.
Well, so I feel like the bottle that I should be picking is one that I have tapped into frequently. Now, anybody who knows the state of our extremely small apartment will know that doesn't happen a lot. I have a lot of whiskey. I'm not soliciting for you to all come around my house and drink it for me. I have a lot of whiskey, but it's not very often that I will repeatedly go back and grab something. And that's because I'm a
Agreed.
very spoiled princess who works with single casks and therefore have access to lots of things all of the time.
Yep, same as.
And that makes it really difficult. That's what makes it really difficult to once a year have to pick the one thing. Because it's not
That's
many
it.
times I go and grab something all of the time. But the thing that I have is something that came back with me from my little visit to Jason's chalet before it became a snow chalet. The thing that I have picked because we've been drinking it in little sippy sips because I'm scared I can't replace it easily. I'm scared of running out of it. So my not SCN whiskey of the year. This year I've decided to stop putting 1960s Beaumont into my list. I've decided to become at one with the people and the listeners and viewers of this podcast. And I have chosen the new and exciting to me Westland Watch Post.
Look
Let's
at
see if this
that.
camera wants
So
to show you.
here's what I love about your exclusivity, Jess, as you have selected this only available in the state of Washington.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to make it easy for everybody.
Jess's everyman pick.
It's for everybody in Washington State.
It will, for listeners elsewhere in the US, in 2026, it will go national. And so talk to those
Jason
those
stole my
listeners.
punchline. I was going to say it was going to be made available across the US due to popularity that I had sparked. But thank you.
You are doing heavy
Apparently-
lifting here. Anna
apparently-
Hibbs is loving this.
Apparently, other Americans who are not in Washington State will have purchasing opportunities in the new year. So I was really excited by the concept of this because it's not a surprise. Everybody knows I'm such a diehard fan of everything Westland do. But
Yep.
I like the idea of creating, because American single malt is not niche enough, I like the idea of creating another blend, which is that of an American blended whiskey. We, as Single Cask Nation, have released a couple, not many, a couple of MGP light whiskies, which is a style there is pretty much no reference to in the UK. So I think, for me, it's tickling a part of my brain that is a new thing, right? That's one of the reasons I love single casks. It's always a new thing. Even if it's from a distillery I love, even if it's the 57th cask of Daluin I've tried, I love Daluin, so it's exciting to try a new Daluin. So I think this is really exciting because it's the concept of not just a blend being put together for the sake of it. It's like everything Westland do. It's a considered blend. So it's 8-year-old Westland mixed in with that American light whiskey. And on the label, as I'm sat here, I can see that it says "Good friends, safe travels," right? And it's the idea of whiskey for adventures. I have been on quite a lot of adventures this year, and I wish I'd had a little hip flask of this to keep me going in some of them. It's ridiculously drinkable, responsibly, obviously. I just love the idea of having a ridiculously drinkable whiskey to share with friends. I think listeners to this podcast, we're all on the same team here, right? We're all very interested in lots of niche and unusual and not always, but sometimes very nerdy products. And sometimes it's nice to just have a whiskey to sit down, crack open and share with people who maybe don't have or haven't fallen quite as hard down the rabbit hole that we have. I have this problem that when I go home and people ask about my job, they assume that I am beyond drinking of things like everyday blends. And it's not true. I love a Johnny Walker Black Label. I am not a snob for drinking them. But this is like an interesting blend. This is a blend with a little bit of a twist. There's something else to learn about here. So, whilst it's not a 1960s Bowmore, and it's not readily available across the whole of the US yet, some of them fell into my suitcase and came home with me, and Chris and I have been drinking them.
Know the strength on that?
Yeah, so interestingly, for somebody who occupies a very much single cask, although you two laugh at me for not being a 60+% single cask drinker.
We do.
High 50s is plenty, thank you very much. This is 42.5%, which, honestly, I would challenge you to tell me that's the number on it. It drinks, how do I say this so that it doesn't sound... It drinks in a much richer level. It's got such a thick texture on it. If I asked you to guess, I think you would probably say, oh, they've put that at 50. It drinks like a 50% whiskey. And I think sometimes people, if you see an ABV that starts with a 4, definitely once you get into the world of single casks, people become deeply suspicious of that as a number. I tell you, if you've got a single cask that has got naturally come down to 40-something%, it's got a story to tell. As Jason says, it has lived a life. It has something to tell you about. I had a single cask at the weekend that was naturally at 46.5%, 48%. It was just really interesting. They've got really interesting textures on them. So I think this is a belter. It's a sub $50 bottle, depending on your state taxes, plus an airfare in and out of America, plus some dubious goods that you have to bring to pay people off that you stay with.
Plus
I think
going
this is
to Anna's house to pick up the bottles to fly back for when Jess comes to visit.
That's very cheap set of exchanges. You didn't even have to buy tea cakes. Yeah, I think this is a belter. I really love it.
Jess, what a great pick for the year. Yeah,
and I've really been thinking hard about this because it's not easy. I've tried a bunch of, as always in my extremely privileged position, a bunch of really cool shit this year. And yeah, the thing that I have kept grabbing for in small doses is this. So I think that's a total no-brainer.
Well, and again, for the benefit of viewers and listeners, you told me that in one of our meetings. That's just you and me sitting down, and you had said, like, this watch post, we're really hitting this bottle. Like, that was completely off the record, and I did not share it. And so the fact that you pick it today, for regular listeners, viewers, once Watch Post goes national, I believe we will have an opportunity to taste it for an extra episode. So we will have an opportunity to talk about it wider, and we'll be sure to invite you to that extra, Jess, and you can.
If I've not finished my bottles and had to go to Seattle and get more, yeah, it's tough. The last bottle I think I drank like this and was reaching for regularly was the Lagavulin Fashiel 20-year-old they released during COVID. Which actually, if my memory serves me, Joshua was underwhelmed by.
The one that Joshua famously didn't like, yeah.
Which is wild, because we've drunk 3 bottles of that, which is unheard of for us. So, yeah, this is delicious.
As far as Fashiel goes, it didn't necessarily turn my head either. So, not to leave Joshua hanging out to dry.
Thank you, Jess.
What was your runner-up, Jess? Very quickly, what was your runner-up?
Sorry for sniffing. My runner-up is a bottle actually I have shared with you two, but not necessarily this, but is the Ardnahoe.
Yeah.
Ooh, does my camera want to show me? Ardnahoe, which is why when you started talking about chocolate notes and a little bit of smoke, I think, oh shit, we've both picked an Ardnahoe. I think this distillery is brilliant. I have described them often and regularly as a love child between Bowmore and Kilchoman. They've got a fruity, soft maltiness, but they've got a bit more smoke than you would get in your average Bowmore. I love what they're doing. They're putting out a whole bunch of fantastic casks. And the Skerryvore that I shared with you guys is obviously a collaboration with the band Skerryvore. This is a 5-year-old. So I think the oldest Ardnaho that's out at the moment is 6. I don't think I've seen a 7. Don't quote me on that. So it's still relatively young spirit. But given how often you two advocate for like an Ardbeg Wee Beastie at 5 years old, and some of the bottlings we have historically done as SCN, young Isla is definitely nothing to be afraid of. I've had some phenomenal single cask bottles. I like their releases, even their inaugural, which I was ready to be kind of, oh, this is nice. Yeah, we've got one, put it away. Incredibly drinkable, delicious whiskey. So if you were going to make me, if I was going to have to really kind of fight between the categories, I was going for like one Scotch whiskey and one not Scotch whiskey. That was how I was going to square that away.
Always rationalising.
I could definitely, I could go on about Ardnaho for a lot longer, but as it's not the winner, I will stop talking about it.
And I asked myself this very day, did Ardnaho Skerryvore, as shared by Jess, knock Ardbeg Eureka off the top spot for 25? And the answer was no, but it gave it a good run for its money. That Ardnaho Skerryvore was very good. Very good.
Yeah, well, you are the only one that has the remnants of that in your house.
I know. I didn't want to broadcast that.
Nobody knows where you live in the snow. It's fine.
And it's in an empty bottle. It's in an anonymous bottle. So
very anonymous looking thing.
I didn't know what I was tasting. So okay, Mr. Joshua Morrissey Hatton. Let's have a round of guessing for you and give us your preamble.
Okay, so the preamble is this selection is a very tricky one.
This is also us.
Because the reason why is I would argue if I had this whiskey by itself, I wouldn't select it as my SCN whiskey of the year. That I think this whiskey is made better when you have it in a lineup of other whiskeys from the same distillery. And that's how I've experienced it a number of times when I've had 2 or 3 whiskeys from the same distillery and sort of ended with this or sort of went back and forth, and it seems the flavors within this whiskey build upon the flavors from the other whiskeys. Does that make sense?
Kind of. One point of clarification.
Yeah, go ahead.
You said you wouldn't pick this as your SCN whiskey of the year, but this is
I'm
not
sorry.
an SCN.
My non-SCN whiskey of the year.
Cool.
Yeah,
Just
apologies.
to clarify.
Apologies.
Okay, so when it's in a lineup, it does better than, say, you pouring it and sitting down and watching a movie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if I'm just going to enjoy this by itself, actually I wouldn't necessarily reach for it by itself. But if I'm going to be with a friend or two and we're going to have a few pours, I may break out a few bottles from this distillery, and then we'll try a few of these, and then this one just becomes so much bigger, so much more rich, and I can't explain it. It happens every time.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you have in your glass?
I have it in my glass.
Okay, so what kind of color are we talking?
So we are talking.
Okay.
All right. You want the little.
Is that a good? Is that a gold?
Yeah.
Something gold.
Here, let's try this.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it looks pretty bright. Bright gold. Bright amber.
Yeah. Bright amber. I like that. Bright amber works.
I'm calling that functioning kidneys.
You both comparing whiskey to you. It's just so much trouble. So much trouble. Okay, is it from Scotland?
It is from Scotchland, yes.
Okay, is it a single malt from Scotchland?
It is 100% a single malt.
And your question to me, return to you, is it a single cask?
It is not a single cask.
Okay, so there's obvious distilleries for Mr. Joshua Morrissey Hatton here. Is it from the Highland region?
It is from the Highland region, yes.
Is it from the western side of the Highland region?
It is.
As soon as you said having friends over, often pouring bottles from this distillery, I had a hunch which distillery that might be. Okay.
Is it famously in one of your top 5 distilleries?
Nay
It is-
top 3, nay top 1.
It has
might have
famously
changed.
become my favorite distillery of all time, and it is Ardnamurchan.
Is this Ardnamurchan available in Ardnamerica?
It is.
Okay.
This is Ardnamerica bottling,
Look at that.
right? And so it is 57. Where is it?
Cask strength. release.
Cask strength. It's like 57. Yeah, 57.5% alcohol. It is peated. It's 2 Sauterne casks and 1 bourbon cask, right? I mean, it speaks to me. These are
Are
these
they
are
doing
my,
this just for their number 1 fan now?
I think it is. I think
Is this
that's
what's
pandering
happening?
to me.
He's gone
Yeah.
from their top 5 of global fans to their top 3 to now their number 1 global fan.
Number one. Yeah, they're a panda bear. Pander bear. Yeah, so this just ticks all of the boxes. Sauterne cask, peated Ardnamurchan, cask strength. It's bright, it's coastal, it's savory.
Aha.
Right.
See, I knew we did not pick the same bottle. I knew that much.
But it has this lovely sort of buttery kind of quality that comes through. I often get with the Sauterne cask coming through. I get some of that apricot thing coming through, but on the palate, it's quite bright. It's quite engaging. But by itself, it's a perfectly fine Ardnamurchan. It's a nice little drinker. But when you have it next to their standard Ardnamurchan AD and maybe their 10-year-old, or you just insert any Ardnamurchan, then those other whiskeys seem to tease out all of these other flavors coming from those Sauterne cask that are completely unexpected, and it becomes moreish. It becomes so much more complex. The depth of flavor becomes massive. And I don't know how to explain it. You know, sometimes when we select whiskeys, we'll select a certain whiskey because the flavors build and build and build. It's kind of rare that I find a whiskey where the flavors build upon other whiskeys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I selected this because of that. It had that unique quality
Yeah.
to it. Now, if I were to select a bottling by in and of itself,
Here comes the runner-up.
I love it.
Each of us has had one.
Thought about
West
this as well.
Gariana 10.
Of course.
It's gotta be the Gariana
I
10.
wondered if one of us was going to pick Gariana 10-year-old for today.
Yeah,
I wondered
yeah.
about that.
yeah.
So I think the Gary 10 is delicious, but it's quite a challenging Westlander. It's not an easy.
Oh, interesting.
I had thought about that. I've had a few little sippy drinks out of that, but it's a bit of a challenging dram. I think because Gary Oak is not the easiest, or at least if I've had a couple of drams, then yes. But as a starting whiskey, it sets a bit of a challenging dram. But I'm going to be honest, I'm pleased because I don't want to be drinking that at speed. It's too precious to be consuming quickly. The story behind it is too much fun to be, I just have to go to Seattle and replace his watch post. That's very easy. Easily done. But you can't replace Gary 10. So yeah, I did think about that.
I love that the three of us thought about Gary 10 as well. That's really excellent.
It's so good. It's so good.
It's ridiculously good.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. I again, just like the festivals, we could have runners up to our runners up. I've got the VDC Brewers Hardywood Gingerbread Stout just off camera.
Also delicious.
It's this close to off camera.
Hey.
It's that close. Like
It's holding your
like that
spreadsheets
was
up.
in the running as well. Like there's just so much good whiskey out in the world, but we must be firm. We must hold ourselves to certain standards.
Exactly.
And we can have one, and we may have one runner-up. And we have done our work this day. One category, and we're out of here.
All right.
One more,
Right.
Joshua.
All right, and the final category is favorite episode, favorite interview of this season thus far. Now, granted, our season ends in February, so there will be more interviews to come, and so it's not necessarily the most fair thing. But to date, what is your favorite? Oh, go on. What were you gonna say?
Just as an add-on, we've always done calendar year, so those episodes you're talking about closing out season 9 in 2026, we can include the episodes that closed out season 8 in 2025.
That's true. Yeah,
those are available as well.
Yes, that is true. That is true. So now we're back to Jess.
Circle.
We're back to ladies first.
So I'm just going to repeat what we've said this whole episode, which is about peaking far too early in the year. My favourite episode... I'm watching your faces, see if maybe we pick the same. My favourite episode was our little jaunt up to Tullamore Distillery with Ollie and Polly.
Yeah, well done, you two.
I had so much fun doing it, and just the privilege of being inside a distillery that I've been driving past since I was a child, to be allowed in and to look at the processes and what they're doing, and to hear what the plans for the distillery in the future are, I think was just really fun. We've got some funny pictures of us kind of there. I just really enjoyed all of it, and it's a real privilege to get. It's always a privilege to get a tour of any distillery, but especially when where you're with somebody who's directly making decisions and influencing and shaping the whiskey that's kind of come out of this distillery in the future. I think it's a ton of fun. Being allowed into the warehouse and popping bungs, as we call it, opening some casks, obviously helps a little bit too. That's not why I'm nominating this, although we did have some very lovely whiskey. It was just a delight to spend time with the pair of them and to walk around recording it for posterity on wax is a ton of fun. I also think this is a great point to mention that Polly just won the Icons of Whiskey Award for 2026 as distillery manager, which I think is a fantastic recognition for the work that's already taking place up there. So well done, Polly and the team, and thank you for having us to come visit and let us sit in the ridiculous Game of Thrones in the doorway, and yeah, just a lot of fun. And I'm really excited for them to open up a little bit more for more members of the whiskey drinking public and the people who are driving past looking at the beautiful distillery to go and see inside it.
Vital.
Right.
I will say in our December 10 extra, Ollie was recovering from celebrating Polly's accolade. So he was, he wasn't his usual bright-eyed, bushy-tailed self, but he was doing his best given the circumstances, and we also had a chance to say there, congratulations to Polly. That was well done. I will go on to say, you did not pick my favourite of the year, but you did pick my runner-up of the year. So.
Oh, excellent.
So I'm glad it gets full coverage from you, Jess. Joshua?
Okay. This one was very tough. It was very tough.
Do we have any easy categories in this?
You. Say that again, Jess?
Did we have any easy categories to choose from in our end of year roundup?
Never.
So I'm gonna list my runner-up first. My runner-up is a conversation that I desperately wanted to be a part of, but could not be a part of, and that was Jason, your conversation with you and Morgan.
Yeah,
right. Yeah. And going over the pure, glorious geekiness surrounding Clynelish, and just the way that he describes it, bringing out that PowerPoint and going through it all, and I thought that was so special, and the fact that so many listeners and so many viewers reached out saying this is why we listen to One Nation Under Whiskey. Yep. This is why we watch. This is it. I thought that was great, and it and God, here I am, giving you compliments again. I just think you're a wonderful interviewer. You do a great job.
Thank you. The subject was easy in that one. You and Morgan's easy. You ask him a question and you get a terrific answer response. It's good people. You had the runner-up to my runner-up. So,
So that was my runner-up.
This is always difficult. I've got 15 runner-ups to my favorite episode.
My favorite episode was also the tour with Polly. It was
The tour more.
the tour Mordor. You know, just again, being at that distillery, being with Jess. You know, Swede Scott was with us. He was even quieter than the Quiet Titan himself, Ollie Chilton. But he was with us, but just getting to be around that distillery with Ollie and with Polly, and I thought it was a really, really special time. And being able to share that, the number of texts and emails and Facebook messages at least I received. Jess, I don't know if you received any of these, but a number of people just reached out saying, I felt like I was a fly on the wall. I actually felt like I was there, like they heard footsteps going, going up the stairs, and they just felt like that they were there, and I thought it was nice to be able to take people on that journey, and I thought that was cool. Yeah, it was fun.
Maybe we should make that an annual feature. Not necessarily Tormore, don't worry, Ollie, I'm not coming for you all the time. But we've done one with Ardna Merkin, similarly, where we went round Tormore. I guess it's a kind of fun version of sort of being in a distillery, but also being far away, I guess, if you're a listener. Getting to hear the sort of sounds and feels of the distillery.
Well, I'm going to be controversial. I'm going to say it live in this recording. We should aim to go to Lag and do the same thing in March.
Oh, we could definitely get that done.
Hells to the yes.
Right?
Done.
I think that's the road trip for us.
There you go.
By the time
And I
that
will
this
get to
call
be a
is
part of
finished,
that one.
by the time this call is finished, I can make that a reality.
This is brilliant. So I'm going to
Need a
follow
tow?
on from.
I can get a tow by 3 o'clock.
Anything. Big Lebowski reference. So perfect. I'm going to continue with the very same sentiment as both of you. This was one where I actually spent time with Anna Hinz and Shane Showtime Armstrong, but it's the exact same sentiment, which is we've known Westland for the better part of a dozen years now. You know, time keeps adding on to that. Get to spend time with Shane and get to know Shane for the very first time, to talk about his palate, to talk about his cask preferences. Jess is sending a text right now so we can have this in the books
by the end of the
before
record.
we end the recording. I know exactly what she's up to. Well done, Jess. But being in the Rick House and interviewing Shane and tasting casks, then to be in the sensory lab with Shane. We also did some additional discussion around Watch Post, as Jess has mentioned, her selection, and around Gariana, which we discussed today as well. So that was just a wonderful experience. And then, as I say, we've had it up our sleeves. We'll release it sometime in 2026, but there's also an interview with Anna on there. And again, spending time talking about the future of Westland. And then as the add-on, we did the extra around Gariana. We had Jason Moore there. It was great to have him on and talk to him. We talked about the theft of not just Gariana, but also the flagship, and I believe...
And Watch Post. There was
Watch Post was
done
part
there
of
well.
that theft. And just that kind of careful conversation around that, I thought really resonated. So, Westland are always near and dear to our hearts. We've talked about them all the way through today's episode. And our experiences with them in 25 were brilliant, just brilliant. I did have my mind blown when researching all the episodes we've done in 2025. Dave and Dave interviewed from Archie Rose in Australia.
Yeah.
That dropped in March. I swear to all that is holy, I thought we did that interview 3 years ago.
That wasn't 3. That was this year?
I could not believe them showing up in March of this year. I really mean it. I had an out-of-body experience when I saw that episode appear.
That was in season 7?
We're having the same out-of-body experience right now.
Wow.
It's absolutely mental. Unless you have done a repost of that and not told me, that shows up in March of this year. And they were so much fun and so geeky and so nerdy.
They were fantastic.
But again, we're back to that realm of everybody who spends time with us is fantastic. Every interview is terrific. Everybody we want to share on One Nation Under Whisky is important and matters and is valuable, and we cherish them in some way. I went back and saw Scott Harris. Like we could keep going with this. Erin Lee from Few was amazing. Caitlin Bartlemy from Clear Creek was amazing. Like we can just keep going. So stopping it here. Thanks to everybody who was on the podcast in 2025. Everyone who listened in 2025, and we'll continue into 2026, and we'll continue to celebrate people in the industry that you maybe haven't otherwise heard of, and we'll continue to try to get hold of people that you have heard of.
There you go.
Thinking of one legend in particular who goes around asking Jess for selfies, but that's a conversation for
I'm
another
working on it. I also want you to know I'm very lifetime writing checks I cannot cash, working on lag. I think looks kind of like a...
To be fair, you are into the much later evening hours in Scotland as we're making this recording. So,
all right. Well, lady, gent, viewers, listeners, it's time to get out of here. One thing I want to mention, next week we will not have a new episode. We're going to repost an old episode, and I've selected a very specific older episode in honor of... Oh, geez, see, if I mention what it's in honor of, then it gives it away. But this is what I will say. It is a very, very special episode. Jason, I think you and I may have drunk a bit too much and gotten this guest drinking a bit too much, but boy, was he a lot of fun. We made him laugh quite a lot. And, oh boy, I don't want to give away any other hints. I don't want to give away any.
Leave it there. That sounds intriguing enough. Tune in, listeners, to the repost episode of us getting drunk with somebody.
Yeah, I can't believe we had this person on the podcast, but boy, it was fantastic.
All right.
Yeah,
All
there
right.
you go.
Well, happy holidays to both of you. Happy holidays to all of our listeners. Thanks to everybody who supported the nation.
The other thing that I want to mention, too, is after the repost episode, which is... Let me make sure I've got my dates right here.
You'll be
Sorry.
the 10th, the 17th, the 24th, and the 31st.
Yeah, so on the 31st, we will not have an episode. We're taking a week off.
Heck yeah, we are.
Look at that. We actually get to take some time off, listeners. But we will be back on January 7th. So keep that in mind. We take New Year's Eve off. So I'm sorry to interrupt, Jason. What were you saying?
No worries. No worries. And which episode will we be back with on January 7th?
We will be back with an episode. Jess, this was with an interviewee that you had.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Are we going to give
a tease?
Give a tease.
Give a tease.
It's a friend of mine. She's also an author and has published a very good book, which I think everybody should be reading. A bit of history, a bit of what we can learn from the industry, and then a little chitty chat about a whole bunch of other fun things she's involved in.
That's awesome. I will have the book read by the time that episode drops. It is on my holiday vacation reading list, by which I mean it is on my nightstand and is at the top of my nightstand.
It's a very quick read. I got very involved in it, so it's not a challenging. It's not a book that you're going to be like, just sneak another one in front of it in the queue. I wholeheartedly enjoyed reading it. So
yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Okay.
Awesome. Looking forward to that interview as well. Thank you for meeting up and making that happen. Thanks to both of you for everything you've done for One Nation Under Whisky in this calendar year. It's been tremendous. We're We're growing in leaps and bounds. We're hearing from Jess ever more often, which is important.
Indeed.
Sneaking
And
my
the
way in.
guests keep coming in and being lovely, lovely people. So.
Yeah. Well, and thank you to you, Jason. You thanked us. It's time to thank you.
Yeah.
I don't need thanks.
Well, you're getting them anyway, whether or not you wanted them.
Jess, what should our viewers and listeners do at this very moment in time?
Oh, we've lined this up so well. Obviously, according to the banner that's just popped up on the bottom, you should subscribe to our channel below. You should click on the bell, ring the bell, so that you get the notifications. You can find us in all places across the internet, unless you're Jason, in which case you have to go to his snow chalet to find him.
That's it. Thank you. I'll be right here. Don't find me, I'll find you.
All right. Well, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, have a good Kwanzaa, and a lovely, lovely New Year.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
Cheers, everybody. We're here today. We're gathered today to do our 10th annual end of year bash. What do we call this? Why am I forgetting what we
I'm
call
curious
this?
where you got 10th annual from. Is that, I know it's season 9.
Did I say 10th? Yeah, it's Can I start this over again? I'm going to start this over again.
He's already on the
Let's go from
eggnogs.
the
Leave
top.
it in. The eggnogs are well and truly
Yeah, I'm
on
gonna
the
start
go.
this all over again. All right.
I want to know what 10th.
I don't know why I said 10th.
When you
No,
said
I
10,
said
I was like, wow, I've done a few of these, but I don't really know if it got to 10.
Yeah.